I know that most of you watching this will already be on your second, third, or even fourth playthrough of our beloved game of the year. But even with all these replays, there are still little Easter eggs and wonders that people can miss. So here's 11 things that you might not have come across in Baldur's Gate 3. At number 1 we have the secret goblin cave behind the waterfall. Behind the waterfall and right beside the goblin camp, if you approach here, there's a ladder that leads down by the river. If you follow this to the waterfall, it appears that it's a dead end. However, if you push through beyond the cascading water, you'll find a little camp in a cave. There's a few bottles of wine you can steal, a lovely axe, but the highlight of this discovery is the little love poem left by a goblin to his crush, which so happens to be Minthara. You'll find letters and drawings of his devotion and how he yearns to be noticed by her. I mean, who can blame him, right? But I'm not sure he's her type. You can actually talk to the goblin who wrote the letter in the camp, but unfortunately there's no additional dialogue here. He does have a rather fetching pair of pants though. Even so, it's a nice little discovery to make. At number 2 we had the Ramazith Tower. When you visit our good old pal Rorikin in his natural habitat, the eagle-eyed among you might have noticed that there is a floor below. Most of us would have assumed that it's part of the scenery, however you can actually jump, or more gracefully glide down, to find some special loot protected by a magical barrier. By casting Sea Invisibility, or by drinking an elixir, you'll reveal the levers that can bring down the barrier and you can claim your prize. There's also a nice little bonus piece of loot, and you can pick up the keys of the high security vault number 1. Awarding you the Nymph Cloak and the Spell Savant Amulet. Not bad. Next we have another thing from Sorcerer Sundries you might have missed, and that is this peculiar lamp. Once you found your way into the office through the portal and made your way across the first bridge, you'll find a hidden illusionary wall. And in this secret room is a peculiar lamp. Once you interact with this, you'll be teleported inside where the Djinn thanks you for taking its place as enslaved and then just leaves.
Toodles!
You are trapped inside, however you'll find that the contents of the lamp are chock full of loot, and there's even a scroll of Summon Quasit. Remembering that someone always has to be inside the lamp, if you use this summon you'll be teleported away and you'll escape your beautiful prison. Number 4. Skeletons under the bridge. In Act 1 you've probably jumped over the damaged bridge on the Risen Road many times, but did you know that you can actually take a ladder underneath? And here you'll find 2 skeletons with some nice loot on them. Your character will do a history check, and if successful it will reveal that one is shown to be a harper and the other a druid. If you carry on down this path to the end, you'll also find another skeleton. This one can be a bit hard to miss as it's in a bush, however if you loot it you'll get the smuggler's ring, which gives you advantage to sleight of hand. It's a nice little spot for some extra loot at the beginning that even after a second playthrough I still missed. Number 5 is a shortcut to the Underdark. Well, I mean kind of. If you cast Featherfall and jump into this hole, you can then glide to the next area and will be able to start exploring. Or you could do what I did and accidentally sent one of your companions falling to their death. At least you made it though. Next is poisoning the goblins at their own feast. If you're fortunate enough to have invisibility on you and fancy a bit of carnage, you can put some poison in the goblin's punch bowl. I'm sure you can assume what happens after that, but in a nutshell, there's death. A lot of it, which makes your life easier if you are choosing to clear the camp. Number 7 is Apothecary Basement. If you find yourself in the Blighted Village, you may already know about the Apothecary House and the basement, but it's here in the cellar where not everything is as it seems. If you move the crates next to the bookshelf, you'll find a lever. Pulling it will reveal another secret area which has a number of puzzles to complete. But the best discovery in this section is the scroll that you can loot from one of the coffins, which is Summon Quasit. By using this scroll you'll summon Shovel, a rude little beast that can be added to your party permanently so long as you're a wizard or a sorcerer. You'll also get a nice little achievement. Number 8 is Sazza. During Act 1 in the Emerald Grove you may have come across a rather obnoxious goblin in the back named Sazza. Sazza is running her mouth to an armed tiefling ready to shoot. Caged and about to be shot, most players either talk the tiefling down or watch the goblin meet her end. However, there is another option that many haven't experienced. While not obvious, you also have the option to free her, giving her another chance. As expected, Sazza can't stay out of trouble for long, because you'll need to fight through a team of goblins, but pretty much every encounter to the goblin camp will be a recipe for disaster. Not to mention that once you get there and Minthara starts questioning her, she'll just throw you under the bus. Nice. Depending on the choices you make, you can choose to have her locked up or thrown to the spiders. If you choose to free her again, you'll then see her at Moonrise. If you rescue her 3 times, you'll earn the achievement She Cannot Be Caged. It's a fun little detail which players, including myself, missed out on their first and second playthrough. Number 9 is the Mind Flayer in the Windmill. In Act 3, have you ever noticed the windmill at the top of the hill? Well, it turns out you can actually break in, and what do you find once inside? A newborn mind flayer snoozing away, dreaming of all the cages they'll be rattling. In this situation, you have a couple of options. You can tiptoe out of there and leave them sleeping peacefully, or attack them, and this is my favourite, consume them, giving you more illithid powers. The choice is yours. Enjoy. Next, we have the second fight with Balthazar. I wouldn't necessarily class this as a secret, it's just something that most players have probably missed because it means Shadowheart needs to leave the party permanently, and this is something that most people don't do. To unlock this path, you need to be a real bastard and make a lot of sacrifices. You need to allow Balthazar to take Knights on back to Ketheric. This means that Shadowheart will leave your party permanently. You'll then need to kidnap Isabel, meaning everyone at the inn dies, and then after all that slaughter you'll need to report to Ketheric, who is unhappy with the way you treated his daughter. He'll ask you to kneel at the altar and beg for forgiveness. It's here the prison reveals itself and you'll be transported to a fleshy prison where you'll need to fight Balthazar to save your life. It's a nice twist to the usual path that most players follow, and if you've been a goody two-shoes up till now, you'll get a lovely view of some zombies of people you've already disposed of, including Minthara. Hey girl! And lastly, we have Akabi's Wheel. At the beginning of Act 3, you're finally victorious in reaching Baldur's Gate. Along the way to the main entrance, players will have noticed a circus, and after finding your way in, you may come across a djinn named Akabi, who is hosting a delightful game of Spin the Wheel. What fun! However, it's not long before you realise that this dude is a big old cheater. So how do you win the jackpot? If you manage to pickpocket him and steal his ring, you'll then miraculously land on the jackpot. But when this happens, Akabi will call you a cheater and in a fit of rage teleport you to a jungle full of dinosaurs. Players will then need to stealth their way out and find a portal that will bring you back. However, if you manage to unlock and find a chest, in here will be a legendary weapon, and it has your name on it. So that's 11 things you might have missed in your last playthrough. Was there anything here that you found useful? Comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more like this, and I'll see you next time. Also, let me know if there's any more videos on Baldur's Gate 3 you want me to cover. I'm probably going to do a deep dive next, so let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, see you next time.